podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Black Cinema Experience
Podcast.
My name is JB.
And I am Cameron.
And this week we're back with a super exciting episode. We're finally getting to review Bad Boys Ride or Die, or Bad Boys 4, starring Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Tasha Smith.
Well, all the greats. Picked up CPO, Vanessa Hudgens, Alexander Ludwig, John Sally, DJ Khaled, Tiffany Haddish. They had everybody. They had everybody in here.
And it's a good thing they did, because this movie means a lot to our culture. I would say,
For real, yeah.
I would say that Bad Boys 1 was one of those movies that, like, at least for our generation, what are we, we're millennials. Millennials definitely saw this as kids, and it meant a lot to us, right? Yeah. It established who Will Smith was, and in our minds, as an actor, oh wow, he could do it all. Fresh Prince and Bad Boys,
exactly.
We got to see him transition from being that young actor to being this grown, mature adult man,
and action stars. Same with Martin Lawrence, being a comedian mostly, right. And then he's doing some other things thin line between love and hate, and
yes.
But to see this comedy and a action was a really unique twist on the buddy film,
Exactly, and to see an action film with these black guys, back then it was oh wow, how cool, two black guys, the main characters, this is so great. But fast forward now to the fourth one, and we're seeing them, and the quality is there, the production's there, the storyline is there. Some of these movies that get so lazy, especially
exactly.
I don't want to say Marvel's lazy, but some of the Marvel collection stuff, it does get a little bit oh wow, redundant, or I knew that was coming, there's just no surprise element to it. With Bad Boys, I feel the stories are so well written that you don't always foresee what's going to happen next, but it is going to leave you laughing. But the action, it's captivating.
It is.
When I think of high quality money, a movie that has good production dollars invested, it's definitely Bad Boys. When I think about the creativity used to film these scenes, from the different angles of the camera,
and the expensive cameras, the best cameras they have,
right.
I think it's so unique.
Definitely. So Cameron, what was your favorite part about this movie?
I would say I definitely love how well they incorporate the comedy. I feel so often with action movies, they have to be super serious. And so seeing this movie, which is serious, obviously they take very complex issues, but make them very, very funny. And I never would have thought Martin Lawrence and Will Smith being such the pair. They are such an amazing comedic duo. It's the perfect balance between the two.
It really is. And one thing that separates this from other movies that have the comedy aspect is how relatable the comedy is.
Exactly.
Not to again drag Marvel or DC or anything like that, but Deadpool, for example. When I watched it the last time, the most recent one, it was all of these jokes pounded on top of each other. It was exhausting. It was so exhausting to keep up with all the jokes, all the dry humor. It was nonstop.
Literally.
But with movies like Bad Boy, the humor is so relatable, right? Part of Martin's character being tremendously funny in this was because everything he did was food motivated. Yeah. So it was extremely relatable.
Exactly.
We all have that one friend that don't want to go nowhere unless some food is involved.
Exactly.
That one person that we have in our life that can be easily convinced to get some sugar, some sweets. No one has to say anything. They just gotta.
And they just ready to eat.
It's me. I'm the sugar fiend, But look, quite literally, when I look at this movie, I think about how relatable Martin's character is. He has a heart attack, obviously from poor eating habits, and in the whole movie, he has this love affair going on with food. And I think that's something that made this movie extremely funny to me. What about you? What for you was this is the best part of the movie? The
best part of the movie, I love that they allow Reggie. He's been a recurring character as kind of not an antagonist, but he's an innocent bystander of their aggression, and to see him really step up and grow up and become a man and save the family essentially is such a it was so sweet, grown up moment, you know, like,
right,
because you know Loki kind of grown up with Reggie, like throughout the years in this franchise, like seeing him like being a family man, you know, and take care of his family. I thought that was so sweet, and like it was like good. It was like actually really good action scene. So
well, right, when you see Reggie as a young kid, you're like, oh, this poor boy can't barely speak for himself.
Exactly.
Then you see him as a grown man, and he's still not speaking for himself, but he definitely
he's
knows
a
how
grown
to.
man.
But he's still exactly. He's not speaking up, but he's definitely grown. Don't
Mm-hmm.
try Reggie now. Like he earns his respect. So that was one of the most heartwarming moments too. And again, that's just like nostalgia from knowing the movie from when you're a kid.
Exactly.
You know, like I was a kid seeing the first Bad Boys. I was a little girl thinking, oh my God, if I bring a boy home, is my dad gonna be like
this?
You know, like, you know, because that would be the ideal situation for any father. Any father would want his best friend there for his daughter's first date.
Exactly.
So they can definitely, like, let him know it ain't going down. Let him know. But to me, yeah, of course, like, anything that gives you that, like, kiss to the old while, like, celebrating the new is something I definitely am a huge fan of. So I love that aspect, too.
I know you brought up something earlier about, like, how they incorporate, like, different, like, kind of, like, outer worldly scenes, like, super, like, crazy, like his dream sequence when he dies, well, not dream sequence, his death sequence, like him being in this supernatural realm and then like bringing it back into reality. I feel like they did a good job with that. I know it's like out of pocket technically, like, you know, him going to like this death realm, but I feel like it didn't seem, for me, it didn't seem too off, like it wasn't like.
Well, I enjoyed, again, the graphics, again, the CGI, and the visual artists on this film. To me, like, you guys deserve your flowers. I just want to give you guys the utmost praise, because when he had the heart attack and he fell on the dance floor but really fell into an ocean, I thought that was absolutely stunning to look at. Like, visually it was beautiful, but also like very metaphoric, like, because he has to get himself out of this like place, and he's like in water, and you know, you never know if you're gonna drown or something, whatever. So it was like a really nice, like, graphic image to see. Like, it was great. But yeah, they tied in this whole like, oh, you're in the afterlife, and now you're with your white boss, and your old, I mean, your dead boss, sorry, dead white boss, and he tells you like, it's not your time, and now you come out, you're invincible. You know, there's always that scene in some of these like Hollywood movies where there's like a magical element where it's like, okay, it's not quite what would really happen. You know what I mean? It's not quite how, like, if you were having a near death experience. If I was having a near-death experience, I don't want to see my boss.
Not one of them.
You know, like,
ones, but none of them.
Even if it was like, even if it was someone like in my family who already passed, like, that's telling me like it's not your time. But like my boss, like
it could be me, Mom. It could be Ray Ray. It could be nobody else.
There's so many options, you know, but they chose him. But that was like the magical element of it, right? Like, because it gave Mike this like super strength of, well, nothing could happen to me. Like he had this really deep tie into the other side, you know. And I thought that part was, you know, needed for a movie like this, because, well, those movies, just those Hollywood blockbusters, they always have a little cheese on top. So him having this like dream and seeing his boss who he loves so dearly, tying him in back to that loyalty that he had towards his boss, the belief in his boss's goodness, etc. It was something needed to tie us into the film more and to believe, oh yeah, we really, really strongly know that Mike is not Mike, that the Bad Boys and this guy, this white man, you know, their boss, are really on the same side, you know.
No, and I appreciate that too, because I definitely feel the same way as far as like, I like to see the progression of how they've both grown as characters, and I think they kind of did switch in this movie, because Martin Lawrence is usually the one that's always been scared and always like scared to like step out, and was like always like the more of the coward, and the roles kind of reversed in this movie, because he was like so fearless, because he's like, oh, this is not my time, like doing all types of crazy stuff, and it was hilarious, but it was like, and to see, you know, Will Smith's character Mike like be like the one that's like more like cautious, like don't do that, like, or, you know, we gotta make sure we staying safe. Yeah. It was like, so it was like a really clever way to do that, to see like how they both kind of like switch roles, and they both still played the roles very well. Like, exactly. You know, I did like that aspect of the movie too. And
we have to be aware of how movies will repeat a theme to us over and over again, because they want us to really understand as an audience, because the audience is slow. the audience doesn't get everything. So to see Mike be in a role where he's constantly trying to protect Marcus, and then to also see him go into his fatherhood role where he's trying to protect his son.
When he was trying to avoid this whole time, you know, in the first couple movies, he was the bachelor. Right,
exactly. Mike was a bachelor, so we needed to have something that was going to show Mike stepping into his new roles, but to see him both be the protector of Marcus and to be basically a nurturer towards his son, it was them showing us, okay, Mike's ready for this new phase in life. You know, he didn't just get married.
Exactly.
Now he's ready to care for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's ready to protect somebody. Now he's ready to put someone else first in his life. So to see that was pretty awesome. But I do have a question for you about his son. Yeah, well, that's what I said. They mirror stuff in movies because we don't pick up the first time. So they put the same. If you notice in a lot of movies, they will put the same theme all throughout the movie in every different relationship, so you can see, this is this character's flaw. Just in case you missed it the first time and the second time
and the third time before.
The third time, here you go now. So but with that thought up about him looking after his son at the end of the movie, I just want to know how you feel. He sends his son off on a little boat. He's like, "Bye, son." After he was like, "Son, help me. Son, I need you. We'll work on your sentence together." Do you think that he did the right thing? Do you think he did the right thing?
I don't.
Oh, I think he did.
I understand. Well, it could be a metaphor for America. Like, can a real black man really help his, convict son? Like, I don't know if that's a reality in this country, But for me, I would just like to see, maybe because I'm a single child, like single parent child, but I want to see a father fight for their child. I feel like.
Yeah, because it did kind of feel like he was releasing him back into the wild. Like, good luck.
And the fact that y'all killed his mother, so he really doesn't have anybody
at all, and then he can't come to you because now he's a fugitive. And you help that be possible.
So it's kind of like, but I guess it's the best case scenario in this situation
because the jail was going to bury him. Yeah. He was guilty of the first crime that he was initially going to go to jail for life on. So he was very guilty.
But then he also helped, uncover a huge drug ring, so.
That he was a part of. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I've seen people get out for less. So.
I'm just saying.
Or for more.
If you got the option with me, besides to send me to jail, so I can serve out my time, or to let me be free and see how far I can make it, you better let me be free. If it's up to you, send me on my way. Okay, you want to see a bird fly?
Fly like a bird.
You want to see a bird fly?
Absolutely.
I'm out of here.
I definitely understand it coming from the perspective of like me wanting to escape. Absolutely, because we're not going to jail. That's what we're not going to do. No. But as far as like from Will Smith's perspective, you're this super, super cop who's a decorated veteran. Right. There's some strings you can pull. I'm sure.
There has to be.
But
then again, they were ready to bury him under the jail too.
Yes. So. Well. They're always ready to bury black people under the jail, so.
And that's one thing I do want to say. Because in this movie, there was a lot of little threats that the white woman was making towards Will and, like, Martin, like, that I just really wasn't feeling. I didn't like it. And I know that it's a movie, so we're supposed to be able to watch it and be like, like, it's fine. But, like, somewhere in the world, white people are really talking to black people crazy. And we need to do something about it. Even in the movie, we can't just let these people out here talking us crazy like that, because that was what was wild.
Crazy.
That was wild.
And
she said, if I see your son, your bastard son, you're talking to the son's father.
Yeah.
So he's not a bastard anymore. Like, I know that. Becky, if I see your bastard son, I'm going to put him down. You can't threaten me like that and work with me.
That's against the law.
And think I'm not about to put my hands on you.
Officer, that's against the law. But
I don't care if I just met my son yesterday.
Exactly.
He's still my son and you're not. Like, what? We ain't got nothing to talk about, lady. So, yeah, that the white woman, but you know what? Like, I hate to be this person.
No, but be it.
I'll just drive over and park my car. Why can't there be black women in a film? Now, granted, Tasha Smith is black, and we do love to see it. But remember that Martin Lawrence's love story is with food, not Tasha. Mm-hmm. Teresa. Mm-hmm. She plays Teresa in this one, but her name Tasha Smith. Yeah. So, like, you don't see him, like, it's fine. She's in there. She's a black woman.
But clock it.
I'm just noticing. And then Will Smith finally settles down with a woman, and she's got to be an exotic black woman. Mm-hmm. She can't just be
she's like Australian,
an American black woman. Why can American black women get some shine? Can we get some praise for a second? Like, why are we never praised? Like, why are the only time you see us or shows like P-Valley, which, yeah, they're doing some incredible things, but we're so dynamic in so many other spaces. Why are we so removed from being the fantasy? I mean, I'm not saying that we should be up there, like, selling the sex, but I just don't understand why we can never be the dream. Like Martin Lawrence, yeah, you were a player in all 4 movies. Like we wanted you in all 4 movies. Like, and you finally get a girl, and she's this London black. But I love her though. I love her. In all fairness, I think that she's an amazing actress, and I love to see everything she's in. I think she's beautiful and talented. So like, I think they chose the right woman. But I'm just acknowledging the fact that, you know, we can't just be like black. There's always got to be some type of special thing. And mind you, I've seen her play characters with an American accent. Yeah. So they specifically requested
that she make this accent. No, literally, and I agree with you. Like literally, it's like it can't ever just be a black movie. And again, I understand a black movie doesn't necessarily have to be just black characters. And I get there is a reality where, you know, if you're working for the FBI or, you know, CIA, that the intelligence officer is probably going to be, you know, the chief or whatever is probably going to be white. But it's just like, I feel like there could be black women in there.
There could be black women.
I'm just saying, or you can just make it a black movie too. Like,
have you ever seen Will Trent? The show? Will Trent?
No, I don't think.
The show has all these black lady cops, like from the chief to Will's like main partner.
Well, I think you showed me an episode. I know,
yeah, okay. All black ladies, and it's like, I'm not saying that the show needs to be painted in black women, like from the top to the bottom to the replacement to the next person. I'm not saying that, but it is nice to see black women on TV, and there are thousands of variations of us. We do not always have to go and pick up the most exotic one. We have plenty exotic ones right here in America, just as they are. So yeah, I just have a hard time. My complex has a hard time when I see so many black women, but no like actual like black women. But Tasha Smith counts though, and Tasha Smith, as we discussed a bit earlier before recording,
is also fine.
She's fine. She's fine. Okay, like when it comes down to women of an older age that just got it going on, it's not just Angie. It's not just Angela Bassett. Tasha Smith and her twin sister is right there in that same category. Literally. These women are together. Bodies, fit, booty,
face,
up.
body,
face, hair, talent, money. Everything. Tasha Smith.
Directing, producing.
Handed every bucket. We just talked about you last week in Harlem, Tasha. You're so busy. You're just in everything. I love you. I love you. No, for real. So like, even though we don't see black women like Tasha Smith represented in the best light, and then, you know, again with Tasha, it's a complex relationship because in Why Did I Get Married, you know, she's Marcus, and it's like, okay, well now we got this obnoxious black girl. Like we don't get to see them in the positive way, but she did get to be a delicate black woman as his wife. Yeah. That was nice. She wasn't masculine as the people say, you know. She was just everything a mother should be. So like that was good. And then again, yeah, she's bad. She's fine.
And I love it. I love to see it. And but going back to as far as like, you know, show or making the whole precinct black, I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. Especially, you know, you're in Miami. Like Miami, Florida, like I do like that they use a Latino woman as one of the, you know, upper officers, you know. But again, this is Miami. It could be a little bit more.
It could be a little bit browner.
It could be a lot more brown.
Because we're the Haitians, we're the Dominicans, we're the Puerto Ricans.
They were all the criminals.
You know, and that's really weird. and that's really weird. You know what I mean?
And I said,
in Miami, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's.
But I mean, I guess in the end they did make the major criminal a white guy, which is, you know, typical.
Because it's important in the Black Cinema Experience podcast. It's important for us to villainize the white man. You guys need to see it more often because at the end of the day, they are the villains.
I mean,
in the real world that we live in every day, who is oppressing everybody else? The white man. That's correct. So it's important that we tell the story correctly in the movies that they are the villain. Absolutely. But that's not to say that all white men are villains.
Yeah, we're not. And you see that Alexander Duvik's character, you know, the white cop, and
right.
You know, there are good white cops out there. I'm sure of it. But I just feel like, again, this is a movie we're portraying, you know, certain characters, and then you chose to make 2 black men your lead characters, you know. So I do feel like that shows kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
You can be a little bit more inclusive. Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, again, I know we talk about like it not being forced, but I think like when you're being strategic, again, like we say, we're in Miami, we're here. It can be a little bit more inclusive, you know.
It can be a little bit more geographically correct.
Yeah, because I feel like the fact that it's still majority white and it's in Miami, or, you know, like it's always like, is that true?
Yeah.
You know? Like, is this what it really looks like? I don't know. Maybe. I guess.
There could have been a lot more Spanish too.
Yeah.
It wasn't very much Spanish. In Miami, everybody speaks Spanish.
And the fact that his son is Spanish, like you didn't learn no Spanish, or you was with this Latina woman for the longest time and you didn't know no Spanish, and y'all had like a whole love relationship. It's kind of crazy to me.
Meanwhile, we've seen Will Smith talk Spanish in other movies.
Literally.
So obviously, we could have cued in some.
Because there are a lot of black people that speak Spanish.
You know, because while we were building those relationships with Will and Martin and his son and all that, Will and Martin. While we were building the relationships, though, we definitely could have saw Will have a moment in Spanish with his son. That would have been something I would have liked to see.
I would have loved to see that.
Because, like, obviously, you know my mom. There was no moments where he could have bonded with the son. Like, your mom meant this. Your mom did this. Your mom was special for this reason. You know, his mom's not there no more. And all we got was Martin calling her a witch. That's it. But, you know, we got enough of it. It was good. They did a good job. And when it comes down to the action, I've never seen scenes shot the way that they shot some of these scenes.
Crazy. The
gun flying, it almost felt like you were inside of a video game. The way that one of my favorite fight scenes is the son on the prison yard with the weights. Yes. And he's just going hard and he's just doing everything. I'm like, yes.
But you like that because he's shirtless too.
I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice that he was missing
his
shirt.
Ass. No, he was really.
No idea. He had muscles and they were out. No.
Wow, they were glistening. The sweat and the light was hitting just right. Yeah, and the hair was.
The muscles. The arms. I was like, what are those lines? What's that?
No, that was like it was given like it gives very much Mission Impossible, like you know, like that type. I know
high quality.
They hold Tom Cruise like action movies to a higher, like he's one of the highest caliber actors when it comes to action movies. So I feel like it's up there, as far as.
Somebody brought up to me that Tom Cruise don't be in no movies with no niggas. Is that true?
He was in the newest one, Maverick. There was not Lawrence. I don't know.
J. Ellis?
J. Ellis, yeah.
Ellis? Okay.
He was in there.
J. Ellis is a white wife. I'm not even sure if he counts as black anymore.
I know. But Cuba Gooding Jr. Oh, he has a white wife too. But remember Jerry Maguire at Cuba Gooding Jr. Show Me the Money. That was a bad guy. I love Cuba Gooding Jr. I know there's movies out there.
All right, you know what? Let me drop it. Because Tom, I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. Because Tom was married to Angie. Angie adopted black people. So I mean,
Tom was not married to Angie. He's Katie. But she with Jamie Foxx, so she doesn't like black men.
Right, Katie Holmes. Wait, that's who Brad Pitt was with? Wait.
Brad Pitt was with Angelina Jolie.
Brad Pitt was Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
Okay.
And she adopts black kids, yes.
Right. But
Tom Cruise, his kid's very white.
He does not do black things.
But he's Scientologist, and apparently they're not racist. Apparently they're not. I'm saying
this I took a far left turn. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But correct though. He don't really mess with niggas though.
Yeah, so it's good to see these action movies with black people being able to do the same.
Because white people did not have a space for us. Now I'm not trying to talk about DEI rollbacks and inclusions and things of that sort. However,
bring it up.
If we look into the film world, they chose for years and years and years and years and years to tell stories in our cities and completely leave us out of it. They have made so many movies and shows without a single black body in areas like New York, Los Angeles, places that we live like the South, Texas, Atlanta. I mean, literally, they white people have made movies for decades. Excluding black people as if our presence doesn't exist. And here we are finally getting our space in movies. And they're all like, DEI rollbacks. They're tired of seeing us and stuff. They're so mad that they're sharing space with us. But it's crazy because you can still name actors that to this day have never worked with other black actors. And it's like we're the ones that are crazy for saying DEI is necessity. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's necessary. It is.
I did think of one though.
It doesn't actually apply in acting, but go ahead.
But I did think of one. It was the one with Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx is not he married Katie Holmes. Right. What? But remember, wait. Did you see his new comedy special?
Jamie Foxx? No, I haven't, but I am going to. Cause I want to watch.
Because he has a whole rant where he says, I'm done with white women. I'm done with white women. I'm done. I'm coming back to black women only. I'm done with white women.
And black women, you better not.
And black men, like they've been telling us for the next 4 years, you sit down, you keep your mouth shut, you mind your business, and you make your money. You don't go saving no more niggas. You let them do what they did for the good parts of their life. Before niggas started having strokes, they was out there playing in the snow. And when and now that they want to be healed from stroke life, they want to come back to the Blackberry, please.
And receive the healing aura. Absolutely not.
Oh, of our queens, our effervescent queens, our golden melanated queens. No, you stay over there in the snow.
That's where you.
Sorry, brother.
Exactly.
That's where you are now. You
You're
already done made the babies.
Exactly.
Okay? The damage is done. Not to say that there's anything wrong with biracial people, but society has already been affected by your choice to not date black. Yeah. And so have your children. Mm-hmm. So, stay where you are. Okay?
Literally. I can't wait to watch this. But, no, but seriously. It's good that we talk about this because, again, especially when we live in a world, where they're talking about, everything is DEI, I think bringing this up, seeing a black movie, or a movie with two main black characters, especially in a genre that, a lot of times we don't really get into. Mm-hmm. We've been seeing it more with Rebel Ridge, and we've seen it I would say...
Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa.
Exactly. Or Michael B. Jordan, or and David Washington in Tenet and stuff like that. So I'm seeing black people, black characters do these action roles, because black people have always been part of the action. Black people have always been in the military. Black people have always been special ops. And again, I was having to work harder to do these jobs. So it's good to see black people flourishing in these particular genres.
Right. I agree. 1,000%. I can't even add anything else to it.
No, it's just really good to see. And again, to be paired so well with comedy, I do think it's really nice, because you can get serious when you see the Mission Impossible, and you see James Bond. Mm-hmm. It's not comedy. It's very straight. It's very serious, and so I do want to see this action comedy, actions with seriousness, we see Rebel Ridge and stuff. Right. But it's so fun to see it paired this way so uniquely. I think it's really good. You don't see good action movies with good comedic scenes often. You see the Deadpools. You got the Venoms and the basically Marvel. When it comes down to action movies with a dash of comedy, it's Marvel. It's always Marvel or DC. Yeah. But the comedy does tend to be a little dry, a little lacking, and a little bit of DEI focused, right? Which is it's always one of those things that makes you skeptical, because is this gay person here because they're a person and they happen to be gay, or did you have to go find a gay person? You say, now we got the scene. And you have to make gay jokes.
Yeah.
About the gay person.
Yeah, but the gay has to be black too, so we can check off two things for one. Yeah. So it's those things are not enjoyable, but to me, enjoyable was seeing the first scene of Bad Boys, them getting robbed in that gas station, and then him saying sir, you do not want to rob me because somebody about to come in here bigger and badder than you. Exactly. And then Will comes in here completely unfazed by the gun, and all he sees is just these Skittles. Exactly. He said, I know you're not eating that hot dog and you're drinking the soda. And as a best friend, and as a person who's blessed with best friends, I understood Will's position. Exactly. It's not about the danger, because we gonna handle that. But listen, you gonna do what you gonna do. We'll deal with you in a minute. This man done said he was done with sugars and sweets. Okay, this is my best friend. I just watched him have a heart attack at my wedding. You better put them Skittles down before I lose you. You know what I mean? Gonna be because if you ever think that your health will start acting up and you gonna come around me eating some pork or something, you ever think I'm gonna just let it slide? You know what I'm saying? It's the same situation. Exactly. My love for you is so strong, it outweighs this dangerous, imminent threat right here. I will kill you myself if you don't put them Skittles down. Exactly. You gotta worry about his gun. You can worry about me, my best friend. So
hilarious, genius.
Absolutely.
No, literally.
Well, any other thoughts that you have about this movie?
No, I really, really just encourage everybody, if you haven't seen it already, to watch the whole, series. I feel like it's...
Wait. I know that the one before this one sucked. If you guys saw Bad Boys 3 and felt how I felt like that one sucked. The one where we find out about Will's son and the mom and all that stuff. I hated that one, never rewatched it, watched it once, and I was like, yuck. Wow. It was so bad that when this one, the Ride or Die one, came out, I was not going to see it. But the reviews were so outstandingly good on this one. that I had to go see it. So
I can't believe you didn't see that helicopter in the middle of that building spinning and them shooting down a helicopter. And I felt like I was in the vicinity of this helicopter spinning and shooting going on. That type of action isn't like impeccable.
The storyline was still a little weak from me on that one. Yeah.
And Marcus overcoming him, his getting shot by his own son. You think I thought that was intense.
No, he just met that man. Like, that movie did nothing for me.
Well, I guess you can skip 3. I wouldn't skip 3. But 1, 2, because the 2 has the beautiful Gabrielle Union as Marcus's sister.
Yeah, that was important. That was important.
And she was a baddie in that movie.
Yes, she was.
So, like, I suggest you watch all of them. And, yeah, I mean...
The suggestion to watch all of them is valid. I was just telling the crowd that one was my least favorite one. In case you tune in,
I can understand though. Yeah. So I feel like this as far
as
my
least favorite, I mean
all the storylines. Yeah, I feel like all the storylines, that one may be the weakest.
But I think that they made that one was the weakest intentionally to set this one up for greatness.
Yeah, well, the next 2, because there's gonna be another one.
Oh, great.
I mean, they can't let money go. That's one thing about these studios. They refuse to let anything in.
As long as Will Smith keeps looking the same 38 years old for the rest of his life, they'll never have to let the money go.
And I need to know the secrets.
Lots and lots of working out, which we must get to.
I mean, yes. You said it.
Okay. So with no further ado, we are finished with this episode. Thanks again so much for watching the Black Cinema Experience podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share.